Hey there people of the internet, my name is Sivana and welcome to my studio. And guess what? It's my 100th video! Pew, 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 pew. And I have something really fun for you guys. This was actually Victor's idea because I couldn't think of something cool or special enough. Basically, I'm going to pay homage to my very first video, Meganium and me, and show how much I've grown as an artist, but this time with a different dinosaur. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get into the drawing. I wanted to use a similar pose like the one in Meganium and me, but Aurorus is huge, so I thought it would be really cute to have it lay down and then I could reach up and touch its face. And then I decided I wanted a shiny, so there has to be one more. I wanted one to be shiny, so there are now two. And I'll eventually draw a little baby Amara, but that'll be later. But first, trees. I wanted to make the background a beautiful winter wonderland with snow-covered pine trees and mountains. And these trees will not stay. I redo them a bit later in the video because I hate them. I'm so bad at trees. I really like Aurorus's design because they're just so big and beautiful. I especially love their gorgeous fins and little curly tail. They're just a perfect design to me. Sauropods, the long-necked dinosaurs, were always really cool to me because they just look like snakes with legs. I know that's not true, and most dinosaurs aren't reptilian, but they just look like giant snake bodies on top of an elephant. So that's kind of why I made the Aurorus faces a bit more reptilian than what they might have been. I don't know. We don't know anything about dinosaurs, and this is Pokémon, so all that goes out the window. I struggled with Amara a little bit and ended up mashing two sketches together. And, that's just what you gotta do sometimes. I had 9 sketches for Aurorus before I landed on these two poses that I decided to go with, and at least 2 sketches for me. Art is a lot of trial and error, honestly, and that's kind of what a lot of this video is about. I've been drawing for years, and I'm always practicing and getting better and learning. This is already miles beyond better than my first video, and that's just going to keep happening. If you're an artist, you're going to draw all the time. You'll eventually see yourself improve, because you're always learning new techniques and figuring out new styles. It's like finding a good pair of shoes. You gotta try on a few before you find what fits. You know the general size and what's comfortable, but sometimes it's fun to go out of the comfort zone, and maybe that will be comfortable one day too. You gotta break some good shoes in, or something like that. A big improvement for me is backgrounds. I am not very good at scenery and places, and I'm very bad at trees. Which sucks because I love trees and I want them everywhere all the time, but they're just difficult for me. So I usually use shortcuts with these stamp tools of these trees, but that doesn't always look good. And if I dedicate the time to trying to improve on something, I will. It will happen. I've definitely gotten better at backgrounds in general, but that doesn't mean that I'm done improving. I am getting a whole lot better at the scenery and scenes in general. It's just sometimes little details like trees and any kind of foliage is difficult, so it takes me a little longer. But it will look good and I will get there. So little PSA on, don't give up if you're not that great at something. Just keep at it and you'll get better. I will say I'm super happy with how the snow turned out. I've been trying to think more like a painter when it comes to coloring, so not just using the same 2 or 3 flat tones for the base, shadows, and highlights, but adding more colors to show depth and reflection and life. Again, please ignore these trees, they look like butt, and I will go back to redo them eventually. Painting is also not my strong suit, but I really enjoy doing it. I love the feel of mixing colors and just watching it all come together with a few strokes, so that's something I really wanted to emulate here with the coloring. It's difficult to emulate the actual feel of painting when you take your brush with some paint on it and put it on some other wet paint and it makes a different color. It's difficult for me to do that with digital, but I am working on it, I'm trying, and I think this looks pretty cool. I had this idea for the scene being of a mother and her 2 kids. The big mama is the one laying down and will be shiny, and the other one is a little too small to be her mate, so we'll just say it's one of her kids that is freshly evolved. And then when Amara gets in here, that'll be the little baby sibling. And I'm just here hanging out with these majestic beasts. It's like I just stumbled upon them walking through the forest and told Victor to take a picture. I imagine them being really friendly, just because most Pokemon are friends, and they just seem like they'd be really nice and chill. Like, if you just walk up and give them a berry, they'll be like, yeah, you're cool, and not be aggressive. Line work, as usual, is straightforward, but I will say I have become more confident in my ability to make certain lines and don't need to use the circle tool as often, unless it's big, round edges like these long necks. And I figured out how to do a fun and consistent style with my Pokemon and characters. I think now I want to do a drawing with all of the long neck Pokemon, including my own, Sauropine, and try to keep their heights accurate, which will be really funny because Sauropine is huge. I wanted him to be like the biggest Pokemon that exists, or at least the tallest, because I know Eternatus or whatever is massive, but I want him to be like really tall, like as tall as like a giant tree. I don't know. Also, maybe I'll just do a whole Dinomon drawing one day. Dinomon sounds like a Digimon. A dinosaur Pokemon drawing with all of the dinosaur Pokemon. Comment down below if you would like to see that, and tell me your favorite dinosaur. Mine is the Parasaurolophus, and I'm going to make it into a Fakemon one day, but give me some time, because there's absolutely no reason for it to be in Minichi, so it'll have to be for when I'm done with Minichi, and I make a new Fakemon region. And here is where I redraw the trees. I use these real fake trees that I have for D&D and just trace them because I am bad at trees and needed help. The trees I had before just looked so flat and I wanted to try something different, like with the highlights on my character's hair. I wanted to add shading and highlights and snow that didn't blend in, so just leaving it pretty chunky. That way it stands out. I love the way it looked on my hair, so I knew it would look good on the trees. I also added more mountains, just cuz. This will probably be a place where you can find Aurorus in my Minichi region if I ever make it into a game. Just out in the wild, no fossil revitalization needed. Because I figured enough fossils have been revived and they've been breeding, and so now they're able to be let out into the wild to ingratiate, is that a word, with the rest of the world and the Pokemon that live there. Also, I dyed my hair. It's kind of blue, teal, and I like it a lot. My little Mies will keep the brown hair though, just for consistency. It's faded a bit so it's more green, but for this drawing I'll keep it a nice blue so it doesn't fade into the trees in the background. And me dyeing my hair was kind of what prompted this drawing of Aurorus in the first place. It was Victor's idea for me to draw it with a blue Pokemon, and Aurorus just popped up because it's a similar dinosaur Pokemon shape to Meganium. And we wanted the 100th episode to mirror the first episode, which I think is pretty cool, so give him some props for his idea. He's the ideas man and I am the artist. We make a good team. Also, just to note, this is an actual outfit that I have. I love my nice little witchy hat. I wear it on Halloween because then I'm like, here's my costume, because I'm lazy, and you know, we don't actually even do anything on Halloween anyway. So I just wear my witch hat, my little witch shoes. I had a lot of fun with coloring their frilly sail fin things, and honestly they're probably my favorite part about the Pokemon and about this drawing. I just love using so many colors and making it look magical and sparkly. I like colors, and you know, this is 10 out of 10 Magical Girl approved. I've also been thinking about starting a series of Magical Girl Pokemon, and I think now Aurorus has to be one. It just feels right. Now it's time for some channel statistics, which is hard to say, so I had to say it slow, because I don't know what else to talk about while I color trees and finish up the shading. I went through all of my videos and counted up a few things. The categories and numbers will appear on screen as I go. So, the first video that I put out on my channel, Meganium and Me, I posted on February 2nd, 2021. And it's crazy that it's almost been 3 full years. And this video, my 100th video, Aurorus and Me, is posted on November 21st, 2023. And I honestly have no idea how to calculate the number of days between the first video and the 100th video. Maybe Victor can figure it out and put it up on screen, because I'm not gonna do it right now. And out of these 100 videos, the number of Pokemon videos, including Fakemon and Fusions, is 61. The number of purely Pokemon videos, not including Fakemon or Fusions, is 29. The number of Fakemon videos I have made is 26, and the number of Fusion videos is 6. Now for the number of Pokemon that I have drawn is 201. This includes repeats and even small ones, just the total number of Pokemon that I have drawn on this channel, not including my own Fakemon or Fusions. Now, within the 26 Fakemon videos, I have drawn 53 Fakemon. And within the small amount of only 6 Pokemon Fusion videos, I have drawn 23 Fusions, which is a lot for 6 videos because some of them have multiples, and I like doing that, it's fun. And we're just going to continue with the Pokemon statistics because that's what most of my channel is. So I have a category for a number of Pokemon that I have drawn of each generation/region. So the number of Kanto Pokemon is 52, Johto is 29, Hoenn is 22, Sinnoh is 26. This does not include Hisuian because I have not drawn any Hisuian Pokemon. Unova is 9, Kalos is 3, Alola is 8, and Galar is also 3, and I have not drawn any Paldean Pokemon yet. I counted up how many Pokemon I have done of each type, not including fusions, and there will be no repeating, so once I have drawn like an Umbreon, I'm counting it as 1 for Dark. So the number of bugs I have drawn is 23, Dark types is 14, Dragon types are 7, Electric is 13, Fairy types I have drawn 12, Fighting I have only drawn 2, apparently, and I said I wasn't going to count fusions, but since I made one of my fusions into my own like Fakemon for my region, I'm counting them. For Fire I have done 13, Flying is 15, Ghost is 14, and Grass, who would have guessed, is one of the highest at 34. I like grass types. Ground is 13, Ice types is 14, Normal is 29, Poison is 29, which I thought that was neat. Psychic is 20, Rock is 9, Steel is 6, and then Water is tied for Grass at 34. In all of these Pokemon statistics and numbers, I am also including my D&D Pokemon drawings, because they are still the Pokemon, you know. Now that we're done with Pokemon, let's go on to the other bit of statistics, which are much shorter. So for D&D videos, I have 10 plus 1 short, which was my first D&D video. For the Nightmare game, I also have 10 videos. Original concepts, I only have 7 because this is mostly a Pokemon channel. Other fandoms, which include One Piece at 2 videos. Steven Universe, only 1 video. World of Warcraft is 2. Inuyasha is also only 1 video. V Rising is 1 video. Until Dawn is technically, I didn't do a drawing for them, but it's part of a video, so it's 1. And then Terraria is 1 for a total of 9. For my longest drawing, it is Down the Rabbit Hole at 60 plus hours. I lost count after like 63. But it is not the longest video. The longest video is my 100 subscriber special at 35 minutes and 49 seconds. And then my shortest video, not including shorts, was my greatest Pokemon art of the greatest Pokemon ever, April Fool's video of Trubbish, which was 2 minutes and 34 seconds. But the shortest drawing I have done is difficult because I was pretty sure it was the Trubbish, but I didn't have the time stamped on there, so we're gonna go with Wishigrin, which was 1 hour and 39 minutes of the total drawing. And there you have it, that's all of the statistics that I can think of. I am done with this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I can't believe we got to the 100th video. This is awesome and it's crazy, and I hope you love it. I love it. I hope you love me because I love you. And you can show me your love by clicking like, subscribing, and ringing the bell if you haven't already. Comment telling me your favorite things in the comments below. And as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.